Welcome to the LEGO Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Dylan, and this is my co-host, Alexa. And today we've got the Spider-Man No Way Home LEGO set. This is the back of it, and it's Spider-Man at the Sanctum Workshop. 350 pieces. You've got really cool characters. Doctor Strange, Wong. We've got Spider-Man, of course, and MJ. So I don't have any Spider-Man sets, and this came in a large bulk buy. I don't usually go for Marvel or Spider-Man, so I thought this would be cool. And Alexa loves Doctor Strange, so I'll let her jump into it.
Okay, so we're going to do something different this time. Dylan is going to be questioned.
Yeah?
And I'm going to do more
Not that side.
more building. So thanks.
I don't like these thumb
I definitely
push
would
ones.
have messed up the box if you didn't do it.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay, so how do you feel about Spider-Man? Did you like Spider-Man as a little boy?
Yeah, I did. I like this Spider-Man a lot. Is this the one where is this the one where the Spider-Mans are there? Like,
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire? Okay. Yeah.
I think we saw it a while ago. That's probably why you don't remember it.
There's one of them I just haven't
I think
seen.
we saw it. No, it wasn't when we were in Seattle because they didn't have anything open.
I think we saw it here.
Yeah, I think so too. I need this.
Yeah, so put the little bags in there, in here. And then we might not need this big tray.
Okay.
Get rid of that. That's the little trays.
Okay, so you said you did like Spider-Man when you were little.
Yeah, I love Spider-Man.
So
It's just like,
where does this
remember-
obsession with Star Wars come from then? Like, do you just like Star Wars better?
Yeah,
Oh,
Star
okay.
Wars was way better because it was so not realistic that it was like super cool to have that like imagination. I mean, obviously Spider-Man's not realistic, but he's still a person, and like
It's
there's
too
aliens
real.
in Star Wars. Yeah,
So you don't like real stuff. You don't like real life.
not in my shows.
Oh.
I have like some creativity and like I don't know. I did like Spider-Man when I was younger. What I didn't like is when they switched the character. Once Spider-Man wasn't Tobey Maguire anymore, I was out.
I understand that.
That was my generation. That was my Spider-Man.
Right.
It's kind of like the new Batman was cool, but it wasn't Christian Bale.
Right.
It wasn't the Dark Knight. So
It's just
you
not
get
the
fixed.
same. Yeah.
Yeah, you get stuck on what you reminisced on when you were a kid.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah. What about you? Spider-Man fan?
No.
Not really.
I don't really like anything Dark Knight. Couldn't finish it. I hate clowns. I'm terrified of clowns. Always have been. And
So the Joker, you don't like the Joker?
I saw The Dark Knight with my dad, and I told him I couldn't take anymore, so we left and got ice cream.
Nice.
Yeah.
That always makes someone happy. Ice cream.
Right.
Anytime I'm upset, I'm gonna need to a chocolate milkshake. Give me
A chocolate milkshake every time you're upset.
Yep. If you told me my mom died, you better show up with a chocolate milkshake.
Jeez.
And then I'd smile. I would actually smile.
I don't think you would smile that quick.
No, yeah, just while I'm sucking it down, and then by the time it's gone, I'm sad again.
So why chocolate milkshake? What's so magical about a chocolate milkshake?
That's a good question. I don't know. I just really enjoy chocolate milkshakes. There's something so satisfying about a chocolate milkshake. I've got this one piece you're gonna need eventually.
Okay, thanks.
Then. Yeah.
What else? So was that like something you did when you were a kid? Is like went out for chocolate milkshakes? Because
I actually used to get mint chocolate chip milkshakes, like big ones.
the mid chip, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, right. And they were real milky ones too, not super thick. You know why I like chocolate?
Why?
Wendy's Frosties growing up. 99-cent Frosties.
I knew there was a reason behind it.
I was trying to think. But the mint chip milkshake, a Frosty's not a milkshake. It's a lot thicker. The milkshakes Baskin Robbins had the best mint chip milkshakes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been to Baskin Robbins like forever. Like, you remember when Shrek came out?
Yeah.
That's the last time I've been to Baskin Robbins.
How do you recognize Shrek with Baskin Robbins? Like,
Because remember when Shrek came out?
did they have a special one?
No, they were selling a car with his ogre ears on it. Baskin Robbins was.
Really?
Like you could put your name in for a drawing and win the car.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was like crazy. And I was like, Mom, we should put our information and win that car. Mom was like, I don't want a car that has ogre ears on it.
That'd be cool, though. Hey, so
For a kid, that's cool, but
for once, your parents didn't do what you wanted with the car.
yeah, that's true. For once is right.
That story, I'll never get over it.
So what is your favorite? You have a lot of stories and you have a very interesting like upbringing. So what is like your favorite memory like growing up? Like the life you had, because like the life you had as a kid is nothing what I had. Like you had it all.
Yeah, in a sense. So it was interesting. Like we had a lot of like our parents provided everything. So like the mindset was we can have a few really nice things, or we can have a lot of things that aren't very nice, but we have them. And so that's what we did. And it was a great way to show us that perspective, like sat us down, like, look, we could have really nice things, but we wouldn't be able to do all the stuff we did. We, and they told us that and sat us down like adults and let us know, like, yeah, so we're going to have a lot of average things, but do a lot. So we would go to the houseboat every summer. That's my best memories. It's my favorite place.
Yeah.
Lake Shasta is my favorite place. It's not the same anymore. Once we're all gone, no need for the houseboat and this and that. But that was my favorite memories growing up, was the lake every summer. And every summer still I get, like, I really wish I just start to get the itch for the lake. You keep dropping them.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Whoops.
God. Kind of need those. What's down there?
I got it. You just talk.
All right.
Dylan is too uptight all the time about his Legos. Like if a Lego drops, all of a sudden it's like he woke out of dead sleep. Was that a Lego?
Whatever.
It's so you.
Well, they're required. You need them.
Anyways, go. You said the lake house.
Houseboat.
Houseboat, sorry.
Lake house is not on the water.
Whatever.
This is in the water. I think
So particular.
I was like 10, 11. I don't know. I wasn't very old when we got it. And we bought it beat up. It actually sunk. And,
What?
yeah.
You didn't tell me this.
Too much. Yeah, that's how we got it. Too much snow. Too much snow.
So that's how you got the houseboat for cheap?
Yeah, and it piled up on the back deck. And then it started sinking in the harbor. And it was like this crazy storm that just came in out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like a few feet overnight and something like that. So one summer, it was at my aunt's house. She had bought it for the permit. And so there's a rule, if you make it short enough and just narrow enough, you don't need a permit. So we cut it down and they did all that work to it. And
how much is a permit for a houseboat?
Whatever a boat costs. They don't sell more. So you got to buy old boats, 50 grand, 100 grand, whatever. Get the permit, and they just kind of throw away boats. So now you'll put that boat on land, and then or try and sell it. But yeah, put it on land, get rid of it, burn it, whatever.
Oh, wow.
It's garbage after you get rid of the permit. And then they buy the boat they want, the big one, or whatever that needs a permit. Yeah,
that's a lot
there's
of
like
work.
permit boats. It's a Forest Service permit, so they gave them out like late in the 70s or something. And they never issued any more.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And so you have to get them.
So now, does that mean it's a lot harder to get a houseboat these days?
Never was hard. You just have to have the money.
Oh, gotcha.
So you just have to buy a boat. You have to buy 2 boats, one with a permit, or you just get a boat with a permit. They do sell boats with permits. They're just a lot more money. It's like getting a bar without a liquor license. You can't really have one without the other.
Gotcha.
So
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then rodeo. So as I got older, I quit going to the houseboat as much and got on the rodeo trail with my grandpa. Started working, making money, doing that. That was fun.
June
And I got
rodeos.
to and I got to meet a lot of people doing that. Where's the stickers?
Why is there a sticker coming up?
Yep. Right
Probably
there.
in the other.
Nope.
No, in the other bags is what I'm saying.
No. Stickers don't come in bags.
I don't know. Did you check the box?
Yeah, I had it once. I'm pretty sure I set it over. Yeah, it fell. I see it. I get it. Come here, stickers. Oh, they don't want to slide. Oh, damn it.
Where are they? Oh, well, they're way over there.
Whatever.
We can do it later. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Dylan needs to learn to relax more.
Well, it's kind of important.
It's not that important.
Okay, whatever.
You're not going to die if you don't have stickers.
It's part of it, but we can do them later.
Yeah. Anyways, so back to what you were saying before the tragedy of stickers not being present happened.
I don't know. What was I saying?
You said you really like doing rodeos and you started making money.
Oh, yeah. I would just, once I got my license, I'd get paid to sober drive all the cowboys around and haul cows and shit. So I did that. And that was a lot of fun. And it was nice to have like a sense of responsibility, like felt trusted with some, extreme cows and stuff. Someone else's random cows, take them hundreds of miles by myself.
Right.
And it was pretty cool. You need help?
Yeah, I think I
you're
do.
missing one.
I'm very confused what's going on here.
You gotta put that piece right there.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and then you'll want that guy without the sticker.
Okay.
This is kind of cool. What you got here?
I don't know. It looks like a spider.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I like these little leg things.
Yeah, they look like vines or like some sort of plant.
Spiders have 8 legs, though. Is it like the goblin's little thing?
I don't
remember
know.
seeing this thing in the show.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think it's been so long ago that we saw that movie.
It wasn't that long ago. It was like this
too
year.
long for adult brains to remember.
That's true. That's very true. And then what kind? So I had a houseboat, and then the cows, and what else did we do in the summer? I don't know.
See.
What I like the most about the cowboying and stuff, though, and like rodeos, was the fact that I got to travel. I always wanted a job where I could travel the country and get paid. And so that was like the first experience with that. We traveled a lot as kids. That was really fun. So I kind of just always had this wanderlust. And then there was just avenues that I could continue that experience.
Right.
Yeah.
So rodeos, like pretty much fed that wanderlust you had.
Yeah, once I got into that and I had that opportunity, I just dove in head first.
Yeah.
And every summer for like 2 or 3 summers. And I think as soon as I got out of high school, though, college was took up a lot of my time. And then we even had summer school. And as soon as I was out, I went back to work. So senior year, I went to work that summer. So yeah, after junior year, that summer of junior year, I didn't go rodeos anymore. And I got injured, so I couldn't personally rodeo anymore. And that was probably another thing. It was nice to be in the scene, even though I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know what. We just kind of stopped going to the houseboat, but I would love. It
kind of just stopped,
I can't recall.
Unexpectedly.
Yeah, things just kind of get phased out as you get older.
Like it just happens naturally on its own course.
Yeah. I don't know what. There wasn't a particular
reason.
We just started going less and less.
Yeah.
And then finally, it was like, I don't think we need to have this anymore. We're not going enough.
Yeah, it happens.
Did you not build the guys?
Huh? If you want to go do it, sure, go ahead, do that.
Yeah. Were they not at the front? They're usually the first ones.
No, he wasn't at the front.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I like Wong. Look at his outfit. It's super cool.
Yeah, he had a really cool outfit in the show. I mean, movie.
I like him.
He was kind of cool character.
He became the Grand Wizard or whatever.
Yeah.
This is his hair.
This part's kind of...
You know what's weird, though?
I have to, like, take way more focus than I want to give.
You're doing good.
To do this particular part, because sometimes the Lego drawings are very confusing and doesn't translate well.
Oh, I got follow the 1, 2, 3, 4.
I know, but it's just like... I feel like their drawings are really good, but it's like...
There, now you can... I can't work with the drawings way far away.
Yeah, maybe that's what my problem was. It was too far.
Because, like, they try and do a 3D... You know what that's called? That's called a
3D drawing.
There's a view. Oh, man. In blueprinting, there's a word for that. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I know the term. I just... I don't know. Isometric. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure that's an isometric view. How you can see the top, the sides, and it's like, at an angle. If it was straight, if you're looking at it head on, that's a front view, overhead view, and then isometric view are the primary views you'll get on a blueprint.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Little blueprint 101 for you.
Well,
we missed it. Go back.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. Boom. See? The guys right there. Yeah. So I knew. So you need to do these things.
You're very type A.
Just do it.
Okay.
Say less. Do more. Type A. We still have Legos, so we can't move on. They put it in the front for a reason.
Okay, you really want to do the guys, so you go ahead and do that because you already did my flow with the monster.
You did good with the monsters.
He's not done yet.
He's not?
No.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not. That's why I said you interrupted my flow. I still have one more.
Well.
So, and my brain can't focus on this if I have something else going in my brain. So you need to do that for me.
I will. Yeah, no problem. Let me see.
It's like cool. When my dad told you, like before we got married, that if you interrupt me, I have to start from the very beginning of my story because my brain can't just jump back. Like I have to start from the beginning.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's how it goes. It's kind of weird because they give you all these extra things, but not really a way to put them together. Like, what is that? Handcuffs? Oh, it is. See, yeah, look. I think you're supposed to be like spider webbed.
Oh my god.
Who knows?
Spider web handcuffs.
Seems like it, right?
But why would he handcuff his friend though?
Were they friends?
Yeah.
I don't think they were like really friends the whole show though. Maybe they were.
That was MJ's friend though. I mean, yeah, they were all friends, remember? They all went to school together.
This isn't that guy. This is Doctor Strange's guy.
Oh.
Wong.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they fought for a minute at one point. I'm not sure. But we'll put this. This is kind of a cool one. Let me put this over here. Finish. What were we talking about?
Your childhood and how like junior year you stopped doing rodeos or senior year and then you just were involved in rodeos but not actually in them. Like you went to them just...
So the reason I had to quit doing rodeos was because I hurt my knee and I'd already had a couple surgeries from it. So the doctor was like, you can't rodeo anymore. It's detrimental to your knee. And then he was like, look, I can't tell you can't, but I wouldn't advise it. But I know you're going to do whatever anyways. And I was like, yep. So I did. And
he just knows you. How long have you been seeing this doctor that he knows you like that?
Well, he did 4 surgeries on me.
Oh, Lord.
So, and they were all like 6 months recovery.
I'm sure every time he saw you, he was like, ugh, Dylan again.
He finally said he wouldn't do anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I have had no more surgeries, because he refused to do more surgeries before I was even 20 years old.
Why? Oh, yeah, you told me why, but tell the podcast why.
I don't know why.
What? You told me that it was because that if he did any more to you, then it would just be worse than not having a surgery.
I guess. I don't remember that.
Oh.
Yeah, not much more you could do to my knee, yeah. But I've had other injuries that could have had a surgery, like my shoulder was torn and stuff. Yeah, so things happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Life happens.
It created it was good to happen when I was young, and it helped me, because, I mean, to say it was good, it was never good. Having surgeries is not good, but the adversity that I faced during this time of my life, and already trying to figure out who I was, what job are you going to do when you get out of high school? Right? What do you want? What do you like? What are your hobbies? Still trying to learn what sports I liked. My middle school didn't have a lot of sports. No track and
What?
field, no football.
What? That's weird.
Well, it was a little country school, so
Yeah, that's true.
they had a co-ed softball league, team, and then basketball, and I think that was it.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, floor hockey team wasn't.
That's very limited.
Yeah, it was. Yep, pretty much. And then I had gotten into roping, team roping. I dabbled in bulls. Bulls are, because we raised bulls, so bulls are very
Aggressive, scary animals.
Yeah, and I got hurt once, and then my mom said I couldn't do it anymore, which was for the best. But yeah, I did like to be around them though, so that's another thing I would always go to the.
Now my
rodeos.
monster is finished.
That's cool. He's got these cool pinchers.
Now I need bag 2.
This is definitely more fun than the cars. The cars are cool, but they're not that cool.
It was kind of fun building a monster.
Yeah. It's kind of neat. It's a weird monster.
I like the eyes.
Looks like he could just pinch him up. Oh, the eyes, yeah. I think you're going to build the building now.
Maybe. In Doctor Strange.
Put all these together, and that's empty. We'll put these over here.
Okay.
Extra parts bin. Then, watch out.
You got it?
Yeah, you spilled everything. Let me do this.
Okay.
You build, I'll just make sure you don't spill.
All right. Sounds great to me.
I'll try to make sure you don't spill. It's pretty hard. I just got to let you live your life the best way you see fit.
But you don't let me do that.
It's, I do the best I can.
And what's funny is you think I'm going to be the helicopter parent? No, it's going to be you.
You think?
Yes, you're so bossy about everything.
No.
Oh, before you do that, you have to do this. Oh, before you do this, you got to do that. And I'm just like, let's just live our lives. Let's just do whatever.
Yeah, and that's how you end up fixing a car and having extra bolts at the end. Like, well, I put it back on, but I don't know. I have all these bolts and pulleys. Let me start the car up, and it all falls apart.
You're being really dramatic right now.
There's rules for a reason.
Rules are meant to be broken. I mean, broken.
Yeah, and they sometimes rules have purpose.
Most of the time, because of the way I see it, it's like I was born into this world, right? No one told me what to do. And, and like
That's your problem.
this is my life. Why just because I'm born into this society that I have to follow rules?
Because you've been following rules since you were supposed to follow rules as a kid.
Yeah, I never did.
Yeah.
And I got almost kicked out of preschool
Yeah, crazy.
because I bit someone because they wouldn't let me play with the Lego blocks. Like, not these Legos, but those big cardboard ones from the 90s. Remember those big cardboard blocks?
Cardboard?
Yeah, they look like bricks on the outside, but they're just cardboard boxes.
Sure. I don't remember those.
Really?
Uh-uh.
And they're like these mega blocks,
Mega blocks. Yeah.
but they're
Okay.
like they're made out of cardboard, and you can build like a giant castle with them.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, right.
So you did that when you were younger?
Yeah, and this guy didn't share the blocks with me, and it was like my go-to
So
toy.
you bit him?
Yeah.
Jeez, maybe we don't want to put our daughter in daycare. Can't be having that. I never bit anybody.
I bit
I was
people
a super nice kid.
all the time if I didn't get my way.
Jeez. Scary.
Yeah.
You
And
were
obviously I
crazy.
got in trouble a lot because of it too.
Yeah, so I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they're talking about the red light, green light shit.
Yeah.
I was like, that was my wife.
What do you mean red light, green
The
light?
green card, red card, green card.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In my elementary school in Palmdale, they had yellow card, red card, green card, and my card was always red.
So much so they had to incentivize you to get a green card.
And it was like kind of funny because my mom would always be like, okay, Lexi, we're going to get a green card today, right? Like, if you get a green card, we'll go to Target afterwards and get you a Barbie doll. Well, I knew I was going to get it no matter what, so.
Wow.
I know.
So, what do you mean, no matter what? So even
Regardless
if
if I had a red card, a green card, or even a yellow card, we still went to Target.
and this is why you have your problems you do today.
Yeah, but the problem is like I had behavior issues because of my epilepsy. So my mom felt bad for me because of that. No one wanted to be my friend because I would have seizures at school.
Ooh, yeah, that's scary.
So
Especially as a kid, like
it wasn't my fault that my behavior was so bad. Like, it was mainly
No.
the seizures' fault. And I also, as a result of them, that no one wanted to be my friend. So that's why she, like, had pity on me and bought me a doll anyways.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm teasing. You don't really have, everyone has problems.
Right.
To say that you have problems. Well, you just have personality traits that some would consider not appropriate,
Right.
but not everybody.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a problem.
I don't think we need to worry about our daughter being like me. I was the special case.
Well, I wasn't that special of a case, and I was definitely that kind of problem. So,
Fair.
hopefully, yeah. Anyway, speaking of daughter, she'll be here soon. Are
Yeah,
you getting
I know.
nervous?
It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm ready, but I'm barely ready.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
I already know. We talked about it.
Okay.
Like, the whole, like, dare... I don't know. It's just, like, I don't trust...
Conflicted with daycare?
Yeah, I just don't trust this world. This world is so screwed in the head.
Yeah.
And I don't really... Like, now that I have a kid on the way, I don't really see the positive in people anymore like I used to.
You never did.
You don't think I ever did?
No, you're so cynical.
Well, can you blame me? Like, people are... Like, very rarely are people ever considerate.
Well, I'm not a woman, so I don't even have a voice in this, but I would definitely hear you out. Because as a man, no one's going to bother me. I'm a man. I don't think about shit like that. I just
that's true.
live my life knowing I'm not scared of anybody.
Yeah.
I've never been scared. I've always been super tall, and everybody, like, another weird thing, especially at rodeos. So at rodeos,
Yeah.
people like to get drunk, right?
Right? I don't like being around drunk people. They freak me out.
People want to get drunk, and I'm a kid, and at like 16, 17 years old, even at 15, I looked old. Like, I didn't grow facial hair a lot till I was like 17, 18. It was patchy. Came in later. As I lost my hair, my beard grew in thicker, ironically. But I still looked old, and I presented like I held myself with a level of maturity, I guess. I don't know. And I got ID'd by an 80-year-old one time. She's like, I don't believe you. I need to see your ID. She thought I was in my mid-20s. But people, because of that, I'd be sitting at a bar or something, just hanging out, sober driving, or just in the crowd after the rodeo dance or whatever, and people would want to, like, fight. And they'd grab me by the shoulder, and I'd turn around. I'd look at them with this look, and then they'd just walk away. And I never got in a rodeo bar fight or nothing like that because every man walked away. And so I never had to worry about.
You're a very intimidating looking type of man. Like, you look like you could fuck shit up.
Yeah, so I've never in my life have I ever felt like the little man.
No.
So I've never had to worry about some man gonna beat me up or like, can I handle myself? And I grew up with animals I was always actually, ironically, like, I guess thinking out loud here, I never felt like humans made me feel intimidated because I was intimidated every day by the animals I controlled. So horses, not intimidated by horses, but the bulls, you never knew when the bulls were gonna like, you were always scared of them. Like, not scared, but not terrified, but a healthy level of fear that made you realize like,
of bulls.
Yeah, you needed to have a healthy level of fear. It needs to be taller.
I know, I'm counting.
6.
Okay.
So 12 and then 2, so 6.
Okay.
And they got to go the right way, yep.
It is the right way. Just calm down, mister.
And you're doing good. I'm just following.
See what I mean? Dylan is so uptight.
Just making sure you don't do these.
Very particular about things.
You've admittedly said you can't talk and do Legos, so I got to check in.
Yeah, but you're the one doing the talking, so just keep going. You really are intimidated by bulls, and you love animals, and
so you have to put yourself in a position like it's like a fighter. He's not scared that he's gonna like something terrible is gonna happen, but he has this fear of his opponent. And he's confident that he can handle the situation, but it's a healthy level of fear. Mm-hmm. And I think in being intimidated and being the smaller person always in a crowd of bulls that are 2,000 pounds, going out in the real world didn't seem like a big deal.
Okay.
Kind of like,
fair.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'd imagine that's what a fighter feels like walking down the street. He's not really intimidated by people.
Right.
Or a soldier or something, like any kind of perceived threat. It's really not. You learn to read people differently. You can read energies because all you're doing is reading animals or fighters or situations all day, and so it actually made me innately like start to always have an exit in the room, like always be like, don't really have my back to people, because that was the way I treated the animals. And I was around them way more than people. And even when I was around a lot of people, I was still around a lot of animals. So once I got domesticated and into society and went to school and then became
Dylan had to be domesticated. What?
Yeah, I was a little feral, a little bit, and yeah. So.
Okay, continue. What?
I didn't have a point to that story. That was it. Yep.
It's funny. So this is confusing again.
Uh-oh. What's up?
It shows me this, but it's only showing me that.
That's all you need. So you can move
where's
on.
this piece? Oh, there's more stuff in here. Okay.
Yeah. Just spreading it out for you. Here. Bring that over here if you need it. There you go.
Okay, thanks.
Move things around.
Well, I definitely feel like everything you said is true because I definitely feel safe around you.
Oh, thanks.
Like we're in public and stuff.
And I was asking, what's it like? Like, why do you fear like people more or whatever all of a sudden?
I don't know. Just because I have a daughter, I don't trust people, and you see it every day on Instagram, on the news, everywhere. Like teachers are doing perverted stuff to kids.
Really? Like what? I don't really follow that kind of news.
Oh, I follow that kind of news.
Of course you do.
Not on purpose. It's just always on my Instagram feed. Because I follow those type of accounts, like Hollywood Unlocked.
Because that's important. Anything with Hollywood in the title is probably not need to be followed.
It's not always Hollywood stuff. It's just what the account is called.
What are they telling you? What's up?
Sometimes it's about celebrities and like Hollywood life, but otherwise it's like also about like things that are actually happening in the world, like the Texas shooting. They posted something about that, and they post about like the scary stuff that no parent ever wants to hear about, like for example, like a while back, there was like this female teacher that was having like sexual relations with one of her students. Like, that's gross. That's why I'm saying it's not just men I don't trust. I don't trust females either. Like,
So that's a weird situation because
I just
sorry, I
don't
didn't mean to
trust
interrupt.
people. Like, how can I ever be sure that my daughter's safe? There's no way to ever make sure of that unless I stay home with her 24/7.
That's my fear. It's you being a helicopter parent. What
I'm
about
not
this?
being a helicopter parent. I'm just making sure I am doing the best I can to prevent crap from happening to her.
What do you think about
Like, when she starts dating boys, enough will happen. She doesn't need to experiencing in before that.
Okay, you're right about that. What do you think about like, isn't it weird that if a boy sleeps, like for me, it's like every boy there's always some hot teacher, right? There's always this teacher fantasy, especially high school and stuff.
I had a hot teacher fantasy.
Yeah, but if it's okay, like if I hear that, I'm like, oh, right on. If it's a boy that slept, like a 17-year-old that sleeps with his teacher, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, it's, because as me, when I was that age, I was like, that's what I would have done. And
You would have done it?
yeah, if the opportunity arose, for sure.
Dylan!
17-year-old horny teenager.
That's gross.
There was definitely there was probably someone, yeah, it could have happened. I know it could have happened.
Okay.
If the opportunity arose, I wouldn't have been like, oh my God, I'm getting raped. I would have been like, sweet. She's hot. And my point about this is that's okay for like a lot of men. That's how they would answer that question. Like, that's how it just has a different thought. But if you hear a man had sex with a female in high school or whatever, you're like, oh my God. That's not okay. It's totally taboo. But when I hear that a boy had sex with his teacher, I'm like, good for you, bro.
I think it's because men are stronger, so it's automatically assumed that it was force on the girl.
Yeah, right. And I think in that same respect, it's also like, well, he's a man, so I mean, 17, you're almost 16's a little worse, but either way, when you're in high school, like that same idea, like he's strong enough to, you can be manipulated for sure, but most instances, I will assume he made the choice because knowing my
teenage boy.
Yeah, but I'm not going to assume that the girl made the choice.
Right.
And I think that's a distinguishing
that's
factor.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though.
But she could easily have been the one pursuing the man, like you pursued me.
Well,
like,
yeah.
Just because it's not only boys that have these horny ideas and fantasies.
No.
You just said you did as a kid. So.
I mean, I had one teacher that I thought was attractive. I wouldn't say that he was hot, and I wanted to, like, have sex with him, but I thought he was like way too attractive to be a teacher. And he was married, and that's not like something I ever like pursued. It was just like, oh wow, he's actually really attractive for a teacher.
I got you. And that might just be a different mindset for boys and girls,
And it's just like
a boy's never going to be like, she's cute, but I don't need to sleep with her.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when I got to college, which is a more appropriate age, I did have a Spanish teacher that was like very hot. He was like a silver fox.
Silver fox? I never heard that term before. What is a silver fox?
It means like he's pretty gray, but he's so attractive for having gray hair.
Distinguished gentleman?
Yeah, like he didn't look old. Like he was tan, very like fit, but he had gray hair. Like,
all right,
and
silver fox.
And he spoke Spanish, which is hot. Right?
Sure.
And then I was not doing very well. I was like, damn, like I wonder if I like suck his dick, he would give me a grade. Like a good grade.
Yeah. So.
And then I was like, but let's not do that, Alexa. That sounds so wrong. And he's married. It was just a thought,
Yeah.
Just a thought. It's like just the thoughts, like that never actually happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And same. So if that thought, so for example, in the time that you're having this thought and the opportunity arises, you might be inclined to execute these thoughts.
I don't think so.
Never.
I respect
If
the
you-
women that he's married to.
Yeah, but if he wasn't married, what I'm saying is if he pursued you, he wasn't married, the idea, you
I don't think I would either, even
if
then,
it's
because
over
that's
a
just
grade,
weird. Like, that's your
and
teacher.
if it's over a grade, now it's leveraging. It's like
Yeah.
blackmail type of deal. But if it was just like, I think he's a silver fox and I want to get some, because it's another weird thing too. Is like, well, at that age, it's okay to have a. It's still weird, but if you're 30 years old and 50 years old, it's not as weird as 25 years old and or not 25, but like college freshman or college,
No,
22 years old and 50 is way weirder. It seems like than it is to be 30 and 50, but the gap is bigger. Like 20-year gap is pretty big regardless, but if you're 40 and 20, that seems really weird to me. But if you're 30 and 50, it's not.
He was probably about in his 40s.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a thought because I was really struggling in Spanish class, and it crossed my mind one time. I was like, "Dang! Like, if only if I can find an easier way to pass this class."
Here's a hot take for you.
I studied. Okay, don't even say that.
I said, here's a hot take. Are you ready? What about the women that signed the contracts with with Weinstein, the director dude, the one that made him, like, wrote sexual harassment payments in his contracts with these actresses and stuff, and said, like, if you want to be a movie star, this is what it's going to cost. And you're going to have to sleep with me, or I'm going to grope you, and then when I do, I'm going to pay you.
That's manipulation at its finest.
For sure. But if that is what you want and you signed that contract, you signed it. So is that, like, you didn't have to sign that. You could put that aside. You chose to do these acts, and he was never hiding. He didn't hide it from you. He didn't sign you up and then say, well, I'm not going to pursue... Like, we're not going to promote you at the same level we would if you did this for me. He was very upfront. Like, look, you see this contract? Everything in here is going to be honored. Do you want to be famous? And they signed it.
So this is what I have to say about that. Everyone who's in jail right now because of that deserves it. But...
I'm not saying it was right. I'm just talking about the fact that they chose to sign it.
Babe,
is it really all his fault?
I got you. What I'm still gonna say what I said.
Yeah.
Like, everyone who's in jail because of that deserves to be there.
Of course.
And is it better that he set it up front and gave him the choice? Yeah. But is it still wrong? Hell yeah. Because that's manipulation. And these poor women really want to make it. What if, like, some of these women, this is their way out from, like, another abuse situation they're in already? You know what I mean? Like, they had, like... People want to get famous for multiple reasons. It's not just for fame. Like, maybe they're like, oh, this is my way out, like, out of my abusive childhood or, like, whatever. And, like, whatever the reason is, we don't know what the reason is because there's so many women that were involved. But
that's when it gets gross.
Right.
That's when it gets gross. When it's 100 women, 50 women, it's like,
right. Let me finish. So, what was I going to say is I'm not saying my situation was exactly the same, but back in 2013, like, I graduated high school 2012, and then I, like, went to California for, like, 3 weeks to be in LA with my friend Destiny, who I met in Minnesota. And she had moved out to California, and I decided I wanted to stay out there for 3 weeks. And, like, she is a full-time actress, no fame or anything,
just
from a big scale, but that's just what she does 100% of her time. And while I was there, we did some, like, TV pilots together, and we did some commercials, and we did photo shoots, like we did multiple things, like, and I got to meet like Robert Downey Jr. and
Whoa.
my favorite actor ever.
Was it on scene? Like on
Yeah, it was on a short film called Wayward's Wife. And what was I gonna say? And then I met my favorite actor ever. He played Petey in the Titans.
Who is it?
Don Ephesian.
Never heard of him.
He was also in Scrubs.
Oh, is it the dude with the black hair?
He's a man of color, yeah.
Black hair and man of color aren't the same. It's the black dude, the comedian guy?
Yes, the funny one.
Okay. Yeah. Do you remember the white dude with the black hair? That's what I was talking about.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That guy, I like that guy. The guy you were talking about?
Yeah. So I find men who are funny, like, just so attractive, like my husband. So,
At
yeah.
least you think so. I'm glad that you think I'm funny.
Anyway, so fast forward. So then we go to this guy's house who is a photographer for MTV.
Okay.
And it's legit. Like, he has plaques all over his living room, like, photographer of the year from MTV of this year, that year, this year, like, so many years. And then, it was supposed to be for Destiny. This photo shoot was for her. I was there, obviously, just to help her do her makeup, because back then I actually knew a thing or two about makeup, and somehow I let that slip, and then I just don't do makeup anymore. And then...
Yeah, because you play like you don't know shit about makeup. What the hell?
I'm just not as good as, like, some of the girls nowadays, because it's gotten so mainstream.
Oh, I see.
It's just, like, now I feel like I'm not really that good, because some girls are way better than me.
Yeah, professionals.
Yeah. So, anyways, so I was
mean
there
you're
to
not
do
good.
her makeup, but he was more interested in me, which made it feel so awkward, because now I feel like I'm stealing my friend's spotlight because I'm there. And then, I
Can't hide beauty.
and I literally told him, like, no, this is for Destiny. I'm just here to do her makeup and support her. I'm not taking any photos. And he kept, like, asking. And then finally Destiny was frustrated, and she was like, just do it. And so I was like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, just do it. He won't shut up. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So then we go upstairs in this really weird loft, like, upstairs area. And he asks me, I'm 17, by the way. And he asks me to strip down naked and have nothing but the American flag covering me, because it was the day before the 4th of July. And
He knew you were a minor?
I don't know.
He probably. Yeah.
I looked very young. I have a baby face. Like, I still look younger than my age now. So he had to know.
I don't think so. I don't think. It's hard to tell. He should have asked. A professional would have asked.
Yeah.
But he might not have known.
Well, I mean, I can't remember if I disclosed it or not, because it was so long ago, but I remember
Either
this.
way. Yeah.
But, and I was just, like, so uncomfortable. I'm like, you want to get naked? But then I was like, oh, but he's a photographer, MTV. Like,
So that thought crosses your mind. Yeah.
So, and he said it was, like, going to be on the calendar for whatever calendar he was making. And then I asked him, like, after we're done doing the photos, I asked him if I can see them, and he says no.
Oh, so you did it. You did do it.
Yeah, and then he wouldn't let me see the photos, which was really weird to me. And then finally, all of a sudden, he can focus on Destiny. And then we take Destiny's photos.
And you never signed any papers or anything?
I never signed anything.
Whoa. And you have no idea. You never seen these photos? You
I
don't know.
never got to see them, ever.
Yeah.
Not even on the camera.
See, that's definitely taking advantage of a situation for sure.
Yeah, and then he told me he would send them to me, but he never did. And I, like, bugged him for months. Like,
there's no way to know. Did he just keep those for his own fucking spank bank or what?
He probably did. That's what I eventually thought, because I'm like, okay, I never got these photos. He wouldn't let me see them on the scene of the photo shoot. Like, I never even got to see what
You didn't even get to see a rendering, like, on the scene?
No.
He wouldn't even show you the screen of the camera?
I never got to see a single glance of these photos.
Wow, that's weird.
I know. And so then, like, I moved to Florida, right? Like, fast forwarding, I'm living in Florida, and he reaches out to me. I blocked, so he reaches out to me, and he's like, "Hey, I have jobs for you lined up if you want to come down."
And you didn't get paid.
Yeah, I didn't get paid for that shoot, no nothing. And then fast forward, so I'm in Florida, right? And then he's like, "Oh, I have jobs lined up for you, that I can book you for if you want to come back to LA." And I was like, "Okay, but what are these jobs? Like, can you tell me what companies these jobs are for? Like, how much I'm going to be making? Like, where they are?"
Yeah, you got a contract? Can you send me anything?
And he's like, "Oh no, just trust me. Just I'll buy your flight to LA, and then I'll pick you up." And I was like, "Okay, but what jobs are these for?" He would not answer that question. But then I was like, "Okay, whatever. Like, worst case,
Did you do it?
So yeah, so I go to LA, and then while I'm at the MCO airport in
That's Florida, right?
in Orlando. So while I'm there, I text him. I'm like, "You're for sure gonna be there to pick me up at LAX, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then like 30 minutes later, he's like, "Actually, I'm like 30 minutes later, I'm already on the plane." And he's like, "Actually, I'm not gonna be able to pick you up because you won't get there until 5." And that's like, what do you call it? Rush hour. That's rush hour in LA. And I was like, "You can definitely make it there on time if you leave early enough." Like,
Yeah, I'm going to fly out right now. There's no excuse
Right.
that you're not there on time.
Right. And I was like, I am originally from LA. I know how this shit works. Like, if you leave early enough, you can make it anywhere. Like, and
Whoa, hang on. Pause.
yes. What happened?
Amethyst.
Whoa.
That's sick. Yeah, that's cool, huh?
I love amethyst. It's one of my favorites.
Same.
Yeah.
A birthstone. That's why I was like, whoa.
It's like it's meant to be.
Continue.
Anyways, so he says, "No, I'm not going to make it." And I was like, "All right." And he's like, "You can just take Flyway to downtown LA." I'm like, "I am not taking Flyway anywhere."
What is that?
It's just a shuttle that takes you downtown.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah. And I was like, "I'm not taking Flyway anywhere." Like,
Was he going to pay for it?
I don't know. I never asked that question because I was just like really mad that he switched the plan on me. And then,
And you're already on the plane.
yeah. And then I was like, "I'm not taking Flyway anywhere." Like, he's like, "Please just meet me at this corner and the studio's right here. Just meet me there." And I was like, "No, I'm not doing that. You're picking me up or I'm not, nothing's happening." And then
Was it a one-way ticket or a round trip?
It was a round trip.
So you were good without him.
Yeah. And then,
At least that was like solid.
right. So then I tell him, like, "If you don't pick me up, I'm not doing whatever bullshit you got planned." And then he's like, "Oh, you're ruining this perfect plan." I'm like, "What perfect plan? You won't even tell me what the plan is."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dude," like, he's like, "If you don't show up and like you ruin all this plan, like you owe me the flight money back." And I'm like, "I don't think so."
Good luck.
Yeah. And then he doesn't know where I live, right? Like, he didn't know my address in Florida.
Yeah.
And so what I end up doing is like, my gut was telling me, like, you need to block this guy and not follow through because this could be like a abduction story.
Yeah. When you said meet me on a corner, I immediately was like, what?
Yeah.
In my head.
So I end up blocking him, and I text Destiny because she still lived in LA. And I was like,
So
"Dude."
did she know this guy at a
Yeah.
good level, or
No, she knew him from that day.
and she worked with him again?
I think so, because when I finally told her, I was like, "Hey, I'm on a plane to LA right now." And remember that guy from the MTV photographer? She's like, "Yeah." I was like,
Yeah.
I told her the whole story, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad that you listened to your gut because he's a registered sex offender."
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Well, that should be the first thing. It's kind of weird how many people don't look at that website.
Yeah. So I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm so glad you listened to your intuition." And I was like, well, I'm really glad I did too, because fuck, like, who knows what would have happened to me. And so this trip that was supposed to be something else actually just ends up being a trip to fuck around with my friend Destiny and have fun around LA.
Because she's still living there, so you're able to go see her and hang out.
Yeah.
That's cool. Free trip. Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
And her uncle is really cool. He actually passed away in 2019 of November, but
Damn.
he was the editor, like the movie editor for Star Trek.
Whoa, what? Mm-hmm. Star Trek, that's legit. That's a big deal.
Right. But yeah, so it ended up being something that could have been really bad. It was actually really fun.
I'm glad that you
Yeah.
trust your gut. That's sketchy.
Right. So like my point of telling this story is like this could be similar to the Epstein stuff, but instead
Not Epstein. Weinstein.
Weinstein, sorry.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say, but I said the
They're
wrong
so
name.
close.
Yeah.
And they're both equally egregious.
Right. So it's like this guy didn't give me any, like, he wouldn't tell me stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where he did.
Nothing.
But
Like that. That's weird.
But do I think it's better? No, I don't think either way, either approach is better than the other. I think it's all bad, but it's like, at least he was up front and you can be like, never mind.
Yeah, like it's like with football. Now it was egregious when they were hiding the fact that you were getting brain damage, traumatic permanent brain damage, and the football players didn't know. Now you know. Now you have you are able to discern whether this dream is worth dying early or potentially doing extreme violence to innocent people.
Right.
Totally out of your control.
Yeah. I think the key is to like not be so desperate. Like,
yeah. What is wrong with you that you are willing to? That's like, I don't blame him for like, and this is definitely, I'm not saying any of this is right.
He's still sick in the head for that.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that's not true. He's still messed up, but so are they. And they're messed up to need this thing so bad. It's like selling your soul. You literally sold your soul to the devil, and you, regardless of the consequences, you knew what was going to happen, and you sold it for fame. That's on you. At the point that you sign your name, that's on you. That's how I look at it, because I hold myself accountable to all of my actions. I'm not going to blame somebody for when I sign. If you scam me out of 50 grand on a dud car or something, or if I signed it, it's my fault. That's why getting scammed feels so bad.
Right.
Because you knew, you signed it, and your judgment didn't tell you otherwise. Now, like your situation, shady. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Not meeting you where, but this was completely black and white in the contracts.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's still egregious, still a terrible thing to do. Still, everything about it's bad. He's in jail, good. But is it really, are you really without blame? The people that did, you know what I mean? That's how
I think like the only thing I could say to defend these women, why they did what they did, is because like it's like it could take a while to meet someone who wants to sign you on the right way, and the right way meaning with morals, and like and then finally
honestly,
you meet.
It might never happen. I think it was, and especially that era, I think all of it was either you do it or you're not in the industry. I'm pretty sure that was the level of pressure.
Well, that is usually how it goes, because usually most, like, I don't even know, like, if I can even think of one person who made it without stuff like that, except for one person.
And now that it's in the open, you can go back and look at all Harvey Weinstein movies, and every actress in that movie, he fucked them.
Yeah.
Or made him suck his dick, or groped him.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. Reese Witherspoon, all of them.
Yeah.
Whether they admitted it or not, that 90% of them did it. because they admitted it, so you can assume that it was 100%. Because it seems very clear he didn't take a contract without that in it. And if you weren't going to do it, he'd find someone that would. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But
It's all the more it makes it worse, especially if the entire industry is controlled by him and fellow perverted people like that. And it's perverted because they get off on the power. They're fucking hundreds of millions of dollars. They can get women. You know, yeah, he's a really gross looking dude, but you don't have to do that. And if you really just want sex with hot women, you can go. You got the kind of money. You can get, you can get escorts. You could do these things under the radar. He got off on the power, making you do that.
Maybe, but like I was trying to say,
that's what I think.
So
which makes it worse.
A little bit, yeah. But what I was trying to tell you is that I think this approach is a newer thing because, like, back in the 80s, so there's this model that I absolutely admire. Very rarely do people know who she is because she's considered one of the first supermodels.
Oh.
Because she...
What's her name?
It's CARAGI.
Okay, moving on.
It's Italian. Once I know how to say it, I can say it. But then if I don't say her name for a while, then I forget how to say it. But like,
there's weird names like that.
Yeah. Sure. So, anyway, so she was considered like the first supermodel because she was the first model to make $100,000 a year.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Which was really good for the 80s. Like, that was good money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And she didn't have to do any of that perverted stuff to make it. She was...
is that in this... That's modeling, though.
Yeah, but it's similar, though, because, like, models also go through crap. Like...
Well, that's what my next question is.
So, but what I'm saying is that... Let me finish. So... what I'm saying is, like, this was the 80s. This was, like, the upcoming of, like, modeling. Because before, like, the 70s, like, yeah, there was Playboy, but that was pretty much it. Like, it wasn't, like, they showcased, like, high fashion in the 70s. Like, they did, but it wasn't, like a big deal until the 80s. Like,
okay,
yeah.
Like runway and shit.
Yeah, and so the 80s come, and then, like, I know her whole life. Like, I have read so much about Gia, and, like, I have watched her documentary on HBO, played by Angelina Jolie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's, like, she was pretty much a powerful model, and, like, just from reading about her story, like, she never really ran. Like, she was so good and so beautiful. Like, she didn't really have to do any of that to get anywhere. Like, she just was naturally a model, and she didn't even try to be one. So it's like, then, you go into the 90s, now all the gross stuff happens.
I think.
And it's just like, where did all of a sudden the switch came where men felt, like you were saying, have power over women to
Well, when was Bill Clinton in office?
In the 90s. So maybe that's when.
I don't think that's when. I think it was going on forever. No one just got found out about it. Men have always been men.
Yeah.
And men have always been in power.
Yeah.
So any man in power wants to execute. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So anybody in power is going to take advantage of that power. And that's why I made a point that Weinstein, his like thing that got him off was the power. Because if it wasn't the power, you would have got him caught up in a escort service scandal or something not so egregious. He wanted to have power over the most famous people in the world and secretly to all his buddies be able to say, I fucked her and I made her.
Okay. I see what
As a man, that looks at another like as a man analyzing that, that's what I have come to that conclusion that that's what got him off. If you want to just get laid and you have that kind of money, but you're
Yeah, you
super
said
ugly
that.
like him, you're just gonna get laid. You're
I
just gonna
think
go
it's
figure
still
it out.
twisted because I know men that don't see women like that don't think like that about women. Like, I know men who would never take advantage of women like that.
Well, yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
But also, the other weird thing now is all of these men that you know, none of them have had hundreds of millions of dollars and been in charge of the largest media companies in the world.
I don't
So it's
think
hard to
money,
say.
like, I don't think that even if these men that I'm speaking of anonymously, even if they have money, I don't think that would change who they are in character towards women.
Yeah, so it's character
Yeah.
flaws.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, do these two characters they found each other? Like, how does that character get into that position of power? Is it because of the character that, like, did he have the power and the power corrupted him to become this guy? And I'm sure it works both ways.
I honestly feel like it's just Hollywood. Like,
Yeah.
like Hollywood is so sick in the head. And like people just do whatever they have to do to make it in Hollywood. And like people get so desperate and people just see Hollywood as a way out. Like you hear it all the time. Like California is so populated. Like not even just California, like LA. Like LA is so really populated because so many people move to LA and they hope to make it. And they hope to be, like famous and like have all this money and fame and like nice cars and rub in the face of their high school bullies. Look at me now. Like,
what do you think that comes from? That level of like wanting to be famous, wanting to be known, wanting to be loved.
I feel like it comes from like a series of like different places, but like speaking from like personal experience, I was bullied pretty much my entire life, like even in college, which is really ridiculous if you ask me.
That's kind of wild.
Because we're adults. Why are you bullying me in college? Like,
for real.
And
College. Wow.
yeah. And then
I didn't know that.
yeah. Not in Florida, but like when I went to art school,
okay.
I got bullied a lot at my art school in Minneapolis. But I think like just from all the years of being bullied, like I just wanted to be this famous fashion designer. Like I wanted to be known so like I can say fuck all of you. All
right.
So for who like bully me from like preschool to like elementary school to like middle school, high school, college, literally the big middle finger to all of them.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I wanted to do I like that idea. I like that concept of like just using that haterade to fuel your ambitions. I understood, like I had a love deficit for sure in a hole that needed filled as a kid, but I played guitar, I played piano, I sang, I did audio engineering. But I knew I was never gonna. I was realistic. I was like, I'm not gonna get famous as a musician. Like, I'm not gonna be famous producer. It's not in the cards for me. I'm not that good.
Yeah.
I'm good enough for this tiny town.
Yeah.
And I don't have the passion for it like that either.
Right.
I do about audio engineering, but that's if the only time there's an audio engineer. I saw that. The only time there's an engineer is when he doesn't do his job. And that's when they're like, wait, why is the sound? What's wrong with the audio? That's when there's supposed to be an engineer that does that. Right?
So that's the only time an engineer's name is known is if he actually sucks.
Well, they give him credit at the end. But yeah, the only time the audience is going to know about it is if something happens.
I never knew that.
And so even that pursuit, I always wanted to have an impact on the world. My teacher, sophomore year, in social science history class, he made it very clear that we are here. You want to take over?
Yeah, I'll take over.
We are to.
This bike looks fun to build.
It is our job to honor the social contract and do our part in society.
Right.
And you got to put the tire on first.
Oh, good point.
That's why it's got the step in the highlighted.
I just got
they
so
don't
excited
roll.
too.
They don't go down the road very well without the rubber.
Yeah, you're right.
Have you ever tried to ride a bike on a rim?
Yeah. It hurts my ears.
Yeah. Nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. Anyways, continue. This teacher.
Oh yeah, and he really promoted the idea of services, like giving back to community, having a noble, like, it doesn't have to be a huge career or some fame or this or that. It's noble to just pursue something that gives back. And he gave back. Oh, that's cool.
Right. It's a New York City apartment. You gotta have.
Interesting.
You have to maximize your space.
Right. And so between that and also realizing like it's not gonna be famous, I wanted to do something that could have the same level of impact that level of fame, like when you know what I mean? Like I wanted to impact the world, but I didn't need to be famous in doing so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And audio engineering was a good way, but that wasn't a viable option for me. And I found welding.
Yeah.
And then probably, I mean, the things that I've been able to accomplish, welding, impact the world every day.
Right.
On a daily basis. It might have a larger impact than being a celebrity or being famous. No one knows my name, but when you go back in the history books and you look at the records and you take a dive, it'll be there.
Right. No,
I
that's
know
true.
it's there. My family will know it's there, but I don't need the world to know. I didn't need that level of like love from strangers like a comedian does,
Right.
like someone on a stage. I found self-love, and I guess in a way
You just have different.
I recognized it as a weakness.
You have different priorities in how you want to make your mark on this world.
I really like that lamp.
Yeah, that lamp is cool. I think it's a healthier approach than saying, I made it, fuck you bitches.
Well, I also did it for the fuck you. Like, I wanted to prove to people that said I couldn't do it. For sure, that drives my ambitions, but I didn't need their approval. I knew that with or without them, like, I'm not going to give you energy because the second I'm doing it for you to prove you wrong, I lost. You win, I lose.
I totally agree with you because, like, as I was, like, making this journey to, like, go to art school and, like, do all this, I got tired.
Yeah.
I'm
you
like,
got to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you can't live off of their coattail. Like, their energy. You got to find that energy in you.
Right. And then, so... Yeah, you're 100% right.
What was it like moving to Florida after your experience getting bullied and this and that in college? And then you drop out of that school, or what happened there? How did you go from Minnesota college to I'm going to just upend my whole life and move to Florida?
So my mom was...
I don't think that was probably not very approved by your parents. Or not approved, but like encouraged.
It wasn't encouraged now. So my mom is the only one that encouraged me to go to art school. My dad wanted me to go to community college because of my learning disability. They could help me, more effectively in like my struggle of process learning.
Fair.
And he wanted me to be a dietitian because I've always been like health cautious, and he thought I'd be good at it.
You would.
And I know I probably would be good at it, and chemistry is one of my strong suits. And But I decided I don't know if I can do it because I'm very impatient with people. And I don't think if I had a client that did not file a diet plan that I'll probably be like so aggravated.
Well, what do you mean? Because I get what you mean. But
Yeah.
I mean, if a client is with you, they're paying you. So then they would most definitely follow your plan or they would stop.
I would hope so, but like
It doesn't matter if they follow it as long as they're paying you?
No, I mean this is just like what my brain process was back then.
I got you.
Yeah. And like I even had a chemistry teacher that believed in me and she was like, "Yeah, you should definitely be a dietitian. Like you're really good at chemistry. Like you are doing my entry level class and my AP class. Like you don't need to be doing it twice." And I was like, "Yeah, but I like it." Like it was like the only subject I really liked because it was the only one I was really good at besides art. And then like people would like
Chemistry?
yeah, and like people would like want me to do their chemistry homework, and I was like, no, I got my own homework to do. Like, I don't have time to do yours and mine. Like, so and I was like, if you want to pay me, sure, I'll like prioritize yours over mine, but like still, I need to graduate.
Gotta hustle, right?
But also, I need to graduate and like move on with my life. So I don't know. Like, depends how much you want to pay me for that.
Right.
And it better be more than $30.
More than 30?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of chemistry is not something that just happens.
$30 though is high school is pretty good.
It's like chemistry. The chemistry homework is very time consuming. That's why. It's not
It
like
is.
it's not like
not my favorite
homework you can
subject.
do like in like an hour.
No.
It's like it's gonna take a couple days. So, anyways, fast forward. I decided I didn't want to go to chemistry. I didn't want to go into chemistry and become a dietitian anymore. Like, I wanted to be with art. That like when I was like around art, I was always at my calmest, and I like listen to you too while I'm painting and drawing and
You too? Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that you liked U2. I've never heard you play U2 one time.
yeah, it's like a time and place that I listen to them.
With art. when
Yeah.
You're doing art.
And so I do have a U2 concert shirt though, but you probably never noticed it was U2.
I'm not a huge fan. I couldn't even.
Joshua Tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm just more relaxed around art. So I was like, I feel like I need to do what relaxes me because I have a lot of anxiety.
So how does that, especially because you feel that way, so how did you end up in Florida?
So my
Why'd you not
dad was
finish?
not helping my mom pay my college tuition. My mom was pretty much paying for all of it. My mom's a teacher. She doesn't make a lot of money. And I was working 3 jobs trying to help me pay for my college tuition.
And going to school?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And I was like, I don't know if I can work 3 jobs anymore and go to school. And then the art school wouldn't let me use a calculator for math, which was the only class I needed to really pass art school. And my combination letter has always been honored, but this art school would not. Like, they were going to make me do math without a calculator. And it's just like, I'm not dumb, but my brain cannot process numbers like that.
Yeah, math's not for everybody.
Yeah, like I can't count in my head like that. Like I need a calculator. I'm a visual learner. Like I have to see it. Like I would write it down on paper, but then I need the calculator to help me do the rest of it. Like I can't
Right.
I can't do it in my head.
And that stupid shit of, oh, you won't always have a calculator in your hand. And guess what?
Yeah.
We have calculators in our hand 24/7.
Right. So my mom fought long and hard for my art school to like allow me to have this calculator, and like she'd be like, because my mom's a special ed teacher, so she gets it. Like, and she was like, my daughter really needs this calculator. Like, she has a combination letter, she has an IPE,
And that didn't
like
matter?
she needs to have this, and like. Yeah, it was just like they were not respecting me, and I was
Isn't that like against the law to do that?
it is actually, it's a felony. And then so eventually, and my mom was like doing everything she can to like pay for my tuition, and I was just like, whatever. Like, I would just drop out, like, take a break, whatever. Like, and my dad was being so discouraging. He's like, oh, well, like, profit schools, like art schools, don't transfer. So if you ever want to do something else later,
He was right about that.
none of your credits transfer over to anything, and it's worthless and it's a waste of your time, blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, he's right, but why do you have to be so negative?
Yeah, this is true.
And I just didn't have enough support. Like, the only support I had to continue art school was my pattern making teacher. She like believed in me, and I really loved pattern making, and I wanted to get really good at it. So when I wasn't working, or I didn't have class, or even just on my day off, I would travel 45 minutes to downtown Minneapolis from where I lived to spend extra time with her to like really get good at pattern making.
That's cool.
And then
So is that like designing the clothes, pattern making?
no, pattern making is like the first. It's okay. So you draw, like the design of the clothing, right? And then there's the pattern maker who makes the pattern for what the designer wants.
Oh,
So you have to be able to like pin like the outline of the garment in order
so say you're making a skirt, you make the shape of the skirt.
yeah, like
Okay.
you make the pattern of it so then you can sew it.
I got you.
Yeah. I'm
So
like,
design and pattern not the same.
no. I mean, often the same person does it, but I mean, there's the person who illustrates it on paper or on an iPad. Nowadays, they do that more often. And then you have to make the pattern so you can make what's on the sketch. Mm-hmm. And then you sew it.
Okay, I got you.
So I was decent at drawing, but not the greatest. I was more good at the pattern making. I was not a very good sewer because I have zero patience to sit that long. But it's just like sewing is just like you just do it aimlessly. It's just like holding the fabric, sewing a straight line. Like,
it takes a lot of concentration, right?
yeah, and so pattern making, my brain is being more stimulated because I have to actually think about it.
I think that's why I like Legos so much.
Yeah,
Because for me, it's like it's pretty brainless. It's just like stick
but
it
you
together.
still have to focus enough that you have to focus to do it.
Yeah, you can watch TV and do it. It's going to take longer, of course. But yeah, you do need to like kind of pay attention.
Like, it can't be done without focus.
Yeah.
So that's why I like pattern making. And so I got so good at it that she would even like announce like, oh, you all should put the same dedication that Alexa has put into this class. Like, that's the reason why she has an A and 90% of you don't. Like she didn't say those exact words, but she would like shout me out in class like that. And then this one guy, he would wear heels to school.
Before it was cool.
We would all dress up a little extra in the fashion department because, that's what
Right.
we're
Why
going to
not?
school for. But he would wear a suit and tie and heels. Like, I'm like, oh my God, why are you wearing heels at school all day? Like, you're
Look,
crazy.
we did it.
That looks really cool.
It's super detailed.
I
Yeah.
like it. And then he literally was like, just so you know, you're not a better pattern maker than me. You're just a teacher's pet. And I'm like,
Okay, bro.
okay, whatever. Anyway, so like so fast forward, I moved to Florida. I did not tell my mom I was moving to Florida until the night before.
Whoa.
I had my suitcase packed and everything.
Did you
I had a garage
planned,
sale. I
like,
sold my stuff. She thought I was just selling my stuff to make some extra money. No, I had a plan. I just didn't tell her.
did you know where you were, like, you went with your friend there, right?
Yeah, but I didn't have a job. I knew I was going to live with her, but I didn't have a job. I didn't really have anything else lined up. And so I told her, I'm like, yeah, can you take me to the airport tomorrow? And she's like, why? And I'm like, I have a one-way flight to Florida.
You didn't even have a car?
Nope. I sold
Whoa.
yeah. I didn't have a car. I didn't have anything for a while.
You're crazy.
I
You just
know.
went there and a plane ticket, no car. Did you have money when you got there?
Yeah, but that was it.
A little bit?
No, I had quite a bit because I had a garage sale, sold a bunch of my stuff.
Oh, cool.
Sold my furniture, everything, my car, everything.
Okay, yeah.
And I took one suitcase with me.
That's crazy.
I know.
It's hard to believe because you can't go.
I
To
was
the,
really-
You can't go to the store with one suitcase.
I was really over living in Minnesota. I was so over it. And I was just like, okay, if I don't just do it and get the fuck out of here, it's never going to happen.
It's facts.
So
that's how I left California.
Yeah. And so I was just like, I have to get out of here. Like, I cannot live in this like place one more day. And then and then when I got, my mom was like, oh, you're coming back. Like, I'm like, yeah, okay, Mom.
She didn't believe it.
No.
Oh, God.
And then I got a job at Disney World, and she cried on the phone. She's like, my Lexi, you're not coming back. I'm like,
You know, I didn't even tell anybody.
I'm 21. Like,
You know, I didn't tell anybody until I was already there. I just put it on social media.
so worse.
Yeah. I left at midnight.
No one got to say bye.
No, I left in the middle of the night.
Oh, really?
Yep. I went to a San Jose Sharks game, sat ringside,
Yeah.
spoiled myself with some ringside tickets.
Yeah.
And then right after the game, I took a cat nap at my friend's house, and me and Renly were gone. Yep, car was already packed when I got to the game. And it was just like, all right, we're out.
Savage.
And yeah, 2 days flat, 24 hours.
Way
or
worse than
48
what I
hours.
did. At least I told my mom to take me to the airport.
Yeah, you know, I've done things that are considered a little wild.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, what I did was not any less wild. It's just at least I had the courtesy to say bye to my mom.
Yeah, I didn't have any insurance or registration
I know,
or
I
a driver's
remember.
license.
Yeah.
And I hadn't made any payments on my vehicle. So when
Oh my God.
once I
I
got there,
remember. That's how I met you. Like when I met you, you were like this big mess.
oh yeah, a hot mess is to say the least.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should continue this conversation next week because we've finished.
Nice.
What do you think?
I think
Final
it's-
thoughts?
I really like
Yeah,
this
but
set.
what do you like about it?
I like all the detail. I like
The shelves are cool, huh?
I like the cute
That whole corner over
little
there.
knickknacks. Whoopsies.
Camera.
Already knocking stuff down.
I'm kind of bummed that the camera doesn't have like a solid, like found some, you know.
Well, technically it's not done because the stickers are on the floor.
Yeah, I know. Oh, we don't need them. You
Well-
clearly need, because I have to break it apart to do the stickers now.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do. You can't put straight. How am I going to put stickers on straight?
I don't
I have
know.
to do the whole window frame. Anyways.
I like the cookie. The cookie.
One day she'll get good at not dropping stuff on the ground.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have faith in that.
Me neither. Maybe they'll get faith for us.
Okay. All right.
I do like the Spider-Man, though.
Yeah.
And this workbench, of course, that's all about. I love this workbench. And the game station.
I
game
like
station's cool.
Doctor Strange looks pretty dope.
His cape is sick.
I know, I love
Yeah.
it.
I thought they were going to do like a...
Oh my god, it's not even bedtime. Why are you
I thought they were going to do a cape like normal capes. Like the Thor has a super basic cape. Star Wars usually has just a basic. This is like a molded cape. It's really cool. Yeah, I like it. Okay, well, that's everything we've got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe this video if you're watching it on YouTube, and hit the bell because we got one coming out weekly every Tuesday at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you're watching this on any other podcast network, don't forget to rate us, like it, and stay tuned. Thanks.